This week.
Cave Digger 2 had a bit of a rocky start on PSVR1 with some awkward controls and a few bugs that were impossible to overlook. But developer VR Kiwi ironed most of those out and just rewarded our patience with a new expansion called Return of the CHOMPYS. This major update features a ton of gameplay improvements along with more enemies, endings, and most of all, more CHOMPYS. Just as they did at the end of 2021, developer Hello Games just announced that it'll be relaunching all of this year's No Man's Sky expeditions, allowing players a second chance who might have missed out. Each expedition will only last 2 weeks this time around though, so if you're planning on doing them, you'd better get started. The first one already kicked off 4 days ago. It's not often these days that we get to talk about new PSVR1 games over here on Without Parole. After games like Among Us, Ultra Wings 2, Undead Citadel, and Galaxy Carts all canceled their PSVR1 plans in favor of PSVR2, well, things started looking a little bleak. So here's some good news for everyone who was feeling like they were getting left out in the cold. This week we have 3 PSVR1 games to talk about, starting with Tin Hearts. March on through more than 40 levels of time-bending, soldier-routing riddles, and forge new paths for your toys to follow in Tin Hearts. Overcome increasingly brilliant puzzles to unravel the emotional story of Albert Butterworth, a genius inventor of Victorian times. Another PSVR1 game announced this week was Cooking Simulator by developer Game Boom VR. Featuring sandbox and career modes, you'll dive into virtual reality and take control of a highly polished, realistic kitchen equipped with all kinds of utensils and stands. Unlock and master over 80 recipes and use over 140 lifelike ingredients to cook everything you like, with plenty of perks and skills to unlock as well.
That bomb suit he wears, I've seen bullets just bounce right off it.
The third PSVR1 game we want to update you on this week is less of an announcement or official update, and more just a little bit of reassurance. We know there's a lot of people out there who won't be upgrading to PS5 or PSVR2 anytime soon, and still can't wait to play the newest installment of The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, this time called Chapter 2, Retribution. So I'm sure seeing the announced release dates for Quest, PCVR, and PSVR2 with absolutely no mention of PSVR1 has some of you kind of worried. But be patient, because as far as we know, from everything we've heard, against all odds, it is still coming to PSVR1.
You winds up dead!
Welcome to the revolution, tourist.
People like us, you must make the difficult decisions.
Every time someone mentions Undead Citadel, all of our ears collectively perk up to hear what's being said. I mean, the first teaser debuted 4 years ago, and updates from the team over at Dark Curry have been few and far between. So imagine our delight when we heard this week that Undead Citadel is now playable from start to finish, with just some polish and bug fixing left to knock out before its new launch date of February 22nd, 2023. That's right, Undead Citadel is now a confirmed PSVR2 launch title. KAYAK VR Mirage keeps being referred to as one of the most realistic looking VR games ever made, so naturally when the developers announced the PSVR2 version, it seemed like a perfect fit. But the good news just got even better because it now seems like KAYAK will be there for the PSVR2 launch. Now, if you're like me, you might have heard that Mirage is beautiful, but maybe a little on the boring side. But a quick look at the developer's roadmap shows that they expect to have full multiplayer modes patched into the game relatively soon, right around the PSVR2 launch. So let's hope that infuses a little more excitement into this highly anticipated game. You can now experience the life of a prison guard without ever having to leave home. Balance between tasks for the prison management and small requests from the convicts to maintain a relationship between the two sides. As a guard, you'll have many tasks such as accepting new prisoners, searching prison cells and prisoners in order to find and confiscate contraband, all the while maintaining order and pacifying problematic prison residents, executions, and more.
This week